So, Allegra, we're so super excited to have you. We know that you have, not just in your profession, a healthcare background, with your mom being a great example. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my mother was a nurse, and she was a nursing professor at the University of Buffalo. And so growing up, she was instrumental at creating a school-based health program in Buffalo, New York. She worked in one of our schools for a period of time in addition to being a professor, and she was really just a big advocate for families and in particular for children's health. And so she really instilled in me the value of being part of a community and how important it was to make sure you were giving back to that community. And when I finished my undergrad degree with a finance major, I remember after she paid for all of that, I remember going back home and saying to her, I'm not really sure that this is for me. I think maybe I should go back and be a nurse.
Yeah. Oh.
And because I was missing the mission from the experience that I was getting out in the workforce. And she said to me, no, you don't need to go back and get that degree. We need to use your finance degree, but go back and get your MBA and get a healthcare administration. And I thought, okay, those are wise words. And from there, I was really fortunate to get a job working at our children's hospital as a business advisor back in, well, I won't say what year that was, a couple years ago, and really just kept working my way up, not purposefully from the perspective of I want to get that next job, but I worked my way up because it was so interesting to me, and I wanted to make sure that I was involved and could be part of solutions for pediatric healthcare, and in Buffalo it was pediatric and women's healthcare, and I just loved every minute of it.
So obviously you come to us with a rich history, great background in healthcare, even with your mom being a nurse. And that's so important, right? Because it does give you mission and purpose. And so you've had your entire career in Buffalo, right? Were you born and raised there? And then now why Jacksonville, Florida?
Yeah, so I was born at the children's hospital that I was the president of for 9 years. And both of my children were born at that hospital as well. So Oceanside Children's Hospital is in my heart for sure and forever. I did work in Connecticut for a few years in a health system in Stamford, Connecticut, and went back to Buffalo primarily because I missed the sense of community, and I missed it. I missed the people. And have really enjoyed the last 25 years at that children's hospital, being a leader for the community and being able to influence collaboration and partnership and having some significant successes along the way. But I was ready for a change and got to a decision point because I had been 9 years as the president, and before that I was chief operating officer. So I had about 16 years experience leading a children's hospital, and had to make a decision of, do I want to stay in Buffalo and move out of children's health, or do I want to find another home and another place to get to know a community and make changes someplace else. And that really excited me, and my family was incredibly supportive of it. And so we decided that it was time to start looking elsewhere, but it was really important to me to find the right fit. And what I was looking for was a community that valued their children's health, that understand that if we invest in children and their good health outcomes, that really means we're investing in our heart, and then we're investing in our community that we love and want to see furthered from either a business perspective, the workforce perspective. Anything we can do for kids, we know will improve the outcomes and the life that we have here now in Jacksonville. And so finding a community like that was really priority to me, and I can say it was evident in a very short visit from the folks that I met with, you being one of them, that Jacksonville was a like-minded community that valued their children, valued their children's hospital, and valued people, and that excited me as an opportunity to come and get to know another region and another community. And I've been here 8 days, I think it is.
Day 8, yes.
And the community has not disappointed. I could not feel more welcome. And it's so clear that the community values everything that happens at Wolfson Children's Hospital.
Yeah, Jacksonville is kind of one of those like big city, big town, small city, right? So geographically we are massive. And you know, Wolfson's covers regionally, you know, a pretty big market, and we are known as the jewel in the Baptist crown. And so being the only tertiary care center here, it's always important that we do have people that understand community and understand that it doesn't matter how large we get, it's very important that people feel connected to their children's hospital. So that's great. And you're from Buffalo, right? And this is Jacksonville. So big transition, right? Just weather-wise, and we'll talk sports later.
But what I can't talk about sports today.
I know, but what excites you about being in Jacksonville? What do you look forward to learning about the environment?
Yeah, so like I said, priority number 1 was finding the right fit from a value and a community perspective. Priority number 2 was going to a different region, and I was really looking forward to finding some place that had nicer weather. So we really narrowed it into the southeast as the area that we would look at, or that I would be looking at for that next career choice. And fortunately for me, my husband works for himself. He's an attorney, and so he is movable, and was really just supportive to make sure we found that right fit from my career choice perspective. But I am very excited about being close to the beach. I am really excited about not having to wear boots and a long jacket. I don't even need a closet to hang coats in. It's really.
Let me just tell you, in Jacksonville, if the weather gets, I don't know, 60-ish, like you'll see boots and sweaters, right? Like we look for the opportunity to wear boots because we don't get it very often. So, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So the weather certainly was a big part of it as well. My husband and I are about to be empty nesters. So being someplace where there's a lot of opportunity to take a weekend trip, to see a new location, to get to know new communities was part of that decision. And there's certainly a lot to explore between all of Florida and northern Georgia, North Carolina that you can get to pretty quickly and get home for Monday and the start of the workday. So we're excited about that as well.
Good, good. So 2-part question here. Tell us about your kiddos, and then share with us how being a prominent leader as a woman, as a hospital president, has impacted your career and your family. Would you do anything different? What has been some of the great wins that you've seen over the years?
Thank you. So my daughter's 20 years old. She is a sophomore at The Ohio State University. And she's getting a computer science engineering degree. She's interested in cybersecurity, which is pretty interesting, something I know nothing about. And my son is about to be 18. He is a senior in high school, which is why he and my husband are still in Buffalo until the summertime. And he will be going to the Rochester Institute of Technology, getting a mechatronics degree, which is mechanical, electrical, and robotic engineering all in one, and he's going to get a master's degree.
So no healthcare and no lawyer, attorney. Okay.
They're off doing their own engineering adventure, but I think the work I've been able to do, and certainly when you're a leader in healthcare, there's a lot of long hours sometimes. And it's always important to make sure you're working with and working for people who understand that family comes first. And I have had the pleasure of working for some people like that over the years, and made it my mission to ensure that I was working for people that understood my family did come first. And as a result of that, they understood when I wasn't there for the most part. I had a couple of tears. My tears, not their tears, over the years when they wanted to know where mom was. But I worked very hard and have had some good mentors over the years that helped me understand the value of making sure I could say no when I needed to say no and always put them first. And so I think that they've learned that importance and they understand how important family is. I've also had to, or have had the opportunity to, show the value of and be a leader for women, and have had to take some uncomfortable conversations further than I would have ever had to expect to ensure that women were being treated fairly and appropriately. And certainly being a mother, and a mother to a young influential woman and a young influential man played a big part of that, in making sure that they understood that all people should be treated equally and valued based on what they are bringing to the table and their own behavior and their own work ethic. And it's a pleasure for me to fight those fights, but it's certainly something you have to learn to do.
So, like, what's one thing that most people wouldn't know about you?
I was a lacrosse player in college. Actually, we started the women's lacrosse team at Canisius College. We were the first inaugural year, and they've actually gone on to be a very strong lacrosse team nationally, so that's exciting. I guess I'll call myself a closet karaoke.
I love it. I was thinking
I would
singing.
I would love to get out and I do like to sing in the car.
I don't know why I was getting like a singing vibe.
And I do envision that maybe I'm doing karaoke sometime.
Do you have like a favorite band or song?
I like everything. I love it all. No, there's not like a go-to karaoke song. No, I'm up for anything, honestly.
Okay, so you know we're going to have to now have a karaoke contest for the Children's Hospital.
Well, that'd be a contest because I'm a terrible singer, but I am in on it. I'm willing to embarrass myself, and I think that is one thing. I don't embarrass easily. I'll say it that way. So I'm not afraid to make mistakes.
Okay.
And I'm definitely not afraid to own up to those mistakes because it happens. Yeah.
Well, again, super excited to have you. I know you have amazing ideas to continue to move us forward as a children's hospital.
You know, I'm looking forward to hearing what ideas everybody else has and supporting you in particular at making sure that we have, we're supporting your teams in the very best way. And I enjoy doing all of that. And I am encouraged by the great team of people that are here at Wolfson, and have been just incredibly impressed.
Yeah, and our health system has always been super supportive of Wolfson as again, its gem and its crown, and we look forward to expanding that, right, and making sure that we have a voice in our community and they feel supported by the services that we offer, and that we want people to come and work for us and to provide back to the community the services that are needed. So super excited to have you on the team. Look forward to having more conversations and our team getting to know you personally. So thank you for this time and just doing some chatting with me.
Thank you.